The president is urging Republicans to pass what he'd been urging them not to for months. And today, when asked, he also said he'll sign it.
So I'm for I don't. They can do whatever they want.
You would sign
We'll
it
give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much, because honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them, and it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax.
He did not say whether by hoax he meant that hundreds of girls and young women were not, in fact, recruited, groomed, trafficked, and abused by Jeffrey Epstein. He did not mention them at all, even though the Justice Department back in July, his own Justice Department, reaffirmed that Epstein harmed more than 1,000 victims. Before hearing from Sky and Amanda Roberts, the brother and sister-in-law of Virginia Roberts Giuffre, I want to play a clip from a public service announcement out today from the advocacy group World Without Exploitation.
I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17.
14 years old.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me.
When I met Jeffrey Epstein.
Some of the hundreds of women who survived abuse at the hands of Epstein, they want all the Epstein files made public, something the president now says he wants too. I spoke up about it before airtime with Sky and Amanda Roberts. Sky, when you heard the president saying that he will sign this bill to release the files if it's passed by both houses of Congress, I'm wondering what you think, because he could just release the files, have them ordered to release them now.
I think right now there's nothing holding him back from releasing them himself. It's certainly a switch in his narrative from what it was previously, right? I think he's been very opposing to this, calling it a hoax at many times, which is incredibly hurtful to us and so many survivors out there. And now he's reversing course in the sense that, maybe it's the ploy of like, oh, you know what? There's nothing to see over here anyway. Let's just support it now, right? Like, now I can just say that I've supported this the entire time. That's not the reality. Reality is he's given so much pushback to this point, and like you said, Anderson, if he really wanted to do it, he could do it today. I mean, I would challenge him to say, why should we even go to a vote tomorrow if the reality is that you could just flip a switch? If you truly supported it, then just release it now.
And Amanda, I understand, I mean, obviously the House is expected to vote tomorrow. I understand you're going to go to Capitol Hill with survivors and others. What do you hope to? What message do you hope to send?
Oh, this moment is bigger than one singular event. This is a large thing for survivors everywhere, not just of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, but every single survivor of abuse, sexual abuse, trafficking. It is a moment to say that we see survivors, we believe them, we will stand with them, and as people in power, we will look to change. And so that's what we really hope to accomplish, is to reach our elected officials on another level, on the human level, remind them why they ran for office in the first place, and that is to represent us, their people. And I think it is so globally large now that people are listening when they weren't listening before, and it's a bittersweet moment because we wish that Virginia was here to see this. This was everything that she worked for decades. So it's just such a big ball of emotions. You know, we're happy in certain moments because it is coming to a vote, but there are moments where we just can't help the tears from coming because she should be here to see this.
And Sky, I mean, I want to ask you about the emails which were released by the House Oversight Democrats last week through the Epstein estate. Some of them said that President Trump, quote, knew about the girls, seemingly in reference to Trump's claim that he kicked Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago club for poaching young women who worked there. One email claims that Trump, quote, spent hours with a victim at Epstein's house, whom House Republicans identified as your sister. When you read that and heard that that's who the victim was that was noted, I'm wondering what you thought, because I know that your sister never implicated the president of any wrongdoing in her book or public comments.
I think it's very much twofold, Anderson, because like you had noted, no, she didn't. She always said that he was nice to her, but not necessarily like that he wasn't around Epstein, that he couldn't have been implicated in another way, shape, or form. I think that'd be naive to say, because it would take away from another survivor's story potentially that would come forward, and they have their own experiences potentially with President Trump himself. I think the biggest opportunity we have here now is that the fact that he is named in these files, the fact that his name is being brought up well over, I mean, almost to an extent of hundreds, if not thousands of times in these documents. Anybody who is in these files should be thoroughly investigated to the fullest extent. And the problem is, and I think this is where the American people don't need to get confused, is because a lot of what they're getting is out of the estate right now. It's not necessarily out of the files that the DOJ has. It's out of the estate itself that they're summoning a lot of these documents. And Anderson, how careless is it for them to actually name and unredact her name when she's not here to speak for herself? Mm-hmm. I think it really did feel like a slap in the face. It felt like they were trying to vindicate President Trump in some way and say, oh, it's no longer a hoax because Virginia cleared my name. Mm-hmm. That's not the case here. She can't be used as a political toy. I think no survivor should be used as political toys, and we need to start respecting them and make sure that we are being, if they truly care, I mean, this is what they've ran their campaign on. They released the files, but also Speaker Mike Johnson has said, well, we have to make sure the names are redacted. That's why we haven't released the documents. Well, why is the White House and the House Committee for the Republicans releasing my sister's name when she's not here? That's a contradiction to what they're saying. I think they should fully redact every name for the protection of the survivors, including my sister.
Sky, according to Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin, a whistleblower told him that Ghislaine Maxwell is not only receiving special treatment in prison, but also preparing to file an application for a commutation. Do you imagine that that might actually occur, that the president might actually do that? What would you think about that? It
feels icky, Anderson. I mean, to put it in a very simple term, I think the fact that our president of the United States, meanwhile, let's just state it, the obvious, we have the king in the UK who literally took away his brother's titles and privileges as the prince. But our own president of the United States can't pardon or can't rule out a pardon for a convicted sex trafficking. I just have a really hard time with that. And I'm even disturbed just about her accommodations at this point. I mean, she's sitting in prison playing with puppies and eating meals that are being delivered to her. I mean, the guards are saying, I'm sick of having to do this. And so I think we need to ask our president at this point. I mean, he's saying now that he supports the files. Well, then can we ask him one other question and say, well, then let's just yes or no. Are you going to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell or not? Because it honestly is a slap in the face to my sister and to us and to all the survivors. It's a disservice to them. And I just, I put it in simple terms. It feels really, really icky and yucky at this point, thinking about her being back on the streets with other children out there. I mean, yours, my kids could be next.
Sky and Amanda Roberts, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anderson.